What's going on, everyone? We are going to cover Nvidia. So Nvidia is having a very nice day, up almost 2% on the day. We do have earnings this week. So what are we realistically looking for? Whether you're just a long-term holder, you're a day trader, maybe you own some shares and your guys are looking to sell some covered calls on this thing. Maybe you're looking to put on some type of option strategy around earnings. How do we realistically want to play this? What we need to do first is we need to analyze the chart. We need to go back, okay, left of the chart a little bit, and we need to kind of see what exactly was Nvidia doing going into this month, going into this earnings report coming out this week. Now, if you look at the high that we put in on Nvidia, the most recent high back in early August, just a couple of weeks ago, $184.50. Once we put in that little bit of a topping wick, we kind of started to pull back. And when we pulled back into our rising supports. And I use the simple moving averages as my rising support. So we pulled into the 20 and actually closed below our 20 simple moving average. Now, we kind of came down into our linear regression channel, quickly lost it, and then automatically recovered. Okay, so the news on the potential, which I think we all kind of seen it coming, those rate cuts coming in the month of September kind of really boosted us back up on Friday. And you can see today we're having a little bit of a continuation. Now, this is very bullish in my opinion. The reason being is we've back tested, okay? And you have to remember, a back test doesn't mean that you need to stop on a dime. A back test can definitely overshoot. It can definitely sweep. What signifies a back test that's going to hold and a back test that's not going to hold is how long do we spend under that demand in this point, right? How long do we spend under that support? So we only spent about two and a half days below support, and then we automatically reclaimed it. For me, that's very bullish, right? Very bullish, especially trading at these most recent highs here with some potential breakout space where Nvidia can absolutely start to fly. Now, in my personal opinion, I think our charts, meaning the names that we like to trade, are going to pretty much go up and to the right for the rest and the remainder of the year. Are you going to have some pullbacks? Are you going to have a red day? Of course. Are you going to have some a week maybe where the market is flatlined? Of course. But I think we kind of go up and to the right into about middle January, and then towards the end of January, February, you start to see a little bit of that pullback and a little bit of that correction, which is definitely matches up with the seasonality chart. If you guys kind of go look at the seasonality chart, you can see after that first of the year, you start to see that little bit of correction or a little bit of consolidation pullbacks. But that's just my opinion. But going into this future earnings that we have coming up this week, what I'm looking at here is if you've got some calls on the table, I think you're looking in pretty good shape. I really wouldn't get too discouraged on anything until we lose like 177, 175 bucks. If we're trading over those two prices here, over these two supports here, we're going to long hold these things and look for that breakout over 185. If you get the breakout over 185, that's where we're going to really want to sell out of. Again, if you're a longer term holder, this is absolutely fantastic for you. I really wouldn't want to add into dollar cost average into it up here. I would kind of hold those shares that you kind of have. And then if anything, if you want to make some money and you don't want to like miss out on this, you can definitely go a little bit out of the money or go out of the money if that's going to protect yourself, and then go sell some covered calls, right? So with that being said, if you kind of look at this weekly chart, I think that this stock chart has room to about 187 bucks. And if we get to $187 and we break that area, then that's where I would be looking to take some gains. Over 187, that next potential landing spot would be about $200. So if we get up to that $200 range, it's a $20 price movement from where we're currently trading at today. Now, to the downside, we always have to talk about the risk to the downside. The downside, I don't really see any downside until we lose, like I said, 177, 175. But more importantly, there's no real downside risk on this chart until you start to close below 172, 163. So between 163 and 172, that's going to be your nice gap here where you want to see this stock chart hold. If we were to continue to pull back here, this would be a break and retest of this linear regression midline. And again, in that particular instance, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's time to, oh my gosh, I have to sell everything. What I would do in a situation like that, if we pulled down into the 160s, low 170s, would be to dollar cost average down in that in that range. And then how I would hedge myself is maybe go short 3 months out on some QQQ puts, or you can go 3 to 4 or 5 months out on some Nvda puts to kind of just protect yourself a little bit on your dollar cost average. So again, there's always a way to kind of work this. Even in a down market, when you're holding long, doesn't just mean that you need to watch your portfolio value go down and down and down. There's a million different ways that you can hedge yourself, so you can always stay protected even in a down market or in a correction market. But what I would want to focus on right now is this long. And if we can get over previous week's high, in previous week high sitting at 182.94, if we can get over that, I think that it's going to be a pretty easy, clear stretch to 187. Again, just my opinion, but that's how I'm going to look to play this. And I'm going to look to protect myself below 172. Okay, below 172, I'll look to protect myself. But other than that, this is a long buy hold for me. This is a long day trade. Scalp, whatever you want to, however you want to approach this, whether you're a scalper, day trader, whether you are a swing trader, whether you are a long-term investor, there's ways to play this chart to the upside here. Again, just keep your eye on previous week's highs. If you want to join Evolution Traders and trade some of these names with me, that link is down in the description box below. If you want to learn a little bit more technical analysis, you can definitely join down there. If you guys are on the future side of things, have to throw this out there. Apex, you can get 80% off your evaluations. You can use code DAnthony. I will see all of you guys on the next video.